Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Harmonious World. My name is Hilary Seabrook, and for this episode I'm delighted to be joined by Jim Morgan from the International Songwriting Competition, ISC. And I'm looking forward to finding out more about what makes them tick. Hello and welcome to Harmonious World. It's a great pleasure to have you telling me about the International Songwriting Competition.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Tell me about the competition and when it started.
So ISC started in 2002, so over 20 years ago now. We originated in Boston. The woman who started it, her name is Candice Avery, and I was working with her at the time in Boston on the Boston Music Awards, and which was a physical event, and the Nemo Music Conference, which both of them were pretty well established and respected in the New England area. And she'd been doing that for quite a long time and was kind of losing, she thought she was losing focus on songwriting, and she wanted to kind of get back into that as opposed to doing a physical event. And so we kind of created it in 2002 and had no idea kind of how successful it was going to be. And it ended up being a lot more successful than we anticipated. And after the first year, she basically decided that she had enough of Boston and wanted to move. So we looked at other major music cities, LA, New York, and Nashville. And we actually were coming down to Nashville for another music event called Folk Alliance, which has been around for quite a long time in the States, longer than we have. And they were holding it in Nashville that particular year. So we came down and just kind of like, yeah, this seems like the place to be. So we went back to Boston after that event, and she sold her other businesses in a matter of weeks. And we packed up and moved down to Nashville, and we've kind of been here ever since. So 2003, we've been based out of Nashville, really.
Well, and I guess that kind of makes sense because some of the best songs in the world, I mean, have been written in and around Nashville, haven't they?
They have, and to be fair, I had no idea. I mean, like a lot of people, I just thought Nashville was a country music town when I first got here, and I mean, it wasn't really just a country music town even back then, back in 2002, but it's certainly not like that now. It's I mean, their moniker for Nashville is Music City, and it really is. It has so much of everything to offer here, whether it be jazz, rock, hip hop, country, obviously. But it's a very diverse music scene down here. And the fact that there were so many studios already here, obviously originally for country music, it's pretty centrally located, Nashville, for touring as a hub. And the cost of living is very affordable. So I think all of those factors help contribute to musicians wanting to move here, and base their career out of Nashville. And it's also, I think the Nashville music scene is a lot more supportive than LA and New York, from what I've heard. It's very much a community here. So, all of those things I think help contribute to making Nashville an amazing music city.
Yeah, fantastic. So give me some names of people who have won, because it's an impressive roster, isn't it, of people who have won the awards in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. From the jazz field, we've had people like Gregory Porter, has been a winner in our competition. The LaBeouf brothers, from jazz have both been winners. They're actually really interesting because they started entering our competition as teens in our teen category. And they always do really well in our teen category. So being able to watch them all the way through their career, end up becoming Grammy winners was pretty amazing. But Omar Sosa has also been a winner multiple times in our competition. Lionel Lewicki has been a winner in our competition. And then obviously we've had, pop people as well. So people like Passenger has been a winner in our competition. Bastille have been the main songwriter. Dan has been a winner in our competition before they were signed. Tones and I with the song Dance Monkey was a winner in our competition. Vance Joy with the song Riptide was a winner in our competition. Gautier was a winner in our competition. Kimbra has been a winner. So we've had quite a lot over the years. And, we basically just see ISC as another stepping stone in their career, for a lot of these people. But it's definitely flattering to see such talented people, enter our competition and be recognized, through the industry that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and am I correct? I think the deadline for this year's competition is tomorrow or something.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of an insider tip. So musicians are notoriously slack. And they do leave everything to the last minute. So we tend to run a number of deadlines throughout throughout the year. So our extended deadline is actually tomorrow, but after tomorrow, we will be taking entries because we'll have a number of special promotions, annual special promotions that run every year. And those will include entry into ISC 2024. And those will run pretty much all the way through until the end of the year. So if you don't make it by tomorrow to enter the competition, you'll still have additional time to enter if you're looking to enter or if you're working on a song that you want to get in the competition.
Fantastic. I know a few people who I'm going to be pointing in this direction because I've just interviewed an old friend of mine called Ashley Slater, who's got a Christmas album out, and there's some amazing songs on that. So he should definitely get entered.
Yeah. I mean, we get entries from all over the world, and we have plenty of UK, finalists every year with the competition. In fact, about 50% of our entries come from the US and 50% are outside every year for the competition. And that's pretty much evenly split with the winners in the competition too. It ends up being that way too, which is amazing. I mean, we're definitely the International Songwriting Competition.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. So what's the next sequence of events then? So you get all of the entries in by the end of the year or thereabouts, and then who are the judges?
Yeah, so the way the competition works, we basically have an internal listening committee here that listens to everything that comes into our office. And like I said, we'll be taking entries all the way through until the end of the year. Excuse me. And then once our listening committee has reviewed everything that's coming to our office, we narrow that down to semi-finalists. And then those normally get announced late February, early March. And then from those semi-finalists, we narrow those down again to finalists. And those normally get announced, I would say, around mid-March. And then once we've announced finalists, those songs then get sent to our celebrity and industry judges that you see listed on our website. And then it's a matter of us waiting to get those results back from all of those people. And if you look at our website, you'll see the caliber of judges that we have. It's pretty impressive. So it's people like, Mariah Carey, Tom Waits, I can't even remember who all of our judges every year, because they quite a lot of them change. Although some of them do stay on for years, year and year. And Tom Waits has been doing it now for over 15 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's Nancy Wilson. That's another one. So it's it takes a lot to put the competition together. Takes us all year to do that. But I think there's a reason why we're, considered to be the biggest and best songwriting competition in the world. So
Yeah,
those kind of reasons.
that's fantastic. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to stay in touch, because I want to be able to sort of show people who the finalists are, and then obviously who the winners are.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we do something else kind of cool as well. So when we announce finalists for the competition, and those artists are all sent off to the celebrity and industry judges, we also have an additional prize as well called People's Voice, where we put all of the finalist songs up on our website, and we let the general public also listen to all of those songs and select one overall winner as well, that wins some additional prizes. So your audience can definitely go at that time and go to our website and listen to whatever category they want to listen to, whether it be jazz, instrumental, pop top 40, Americana. We've got 24 different categories that people can enter into.
Yeah, that's fantastic. One of the things that I love about this podcast is that, although it's primarily around jazz and actually quite a lot of classical and modern classical, I like, new classical music that's been written now, for whatever, because I find the crossover is huge, that actually something that is written today quite often is very difficult to categorize. And one of the things I liked about the ISC is you have all of these categories, and I think some of them would kind of fit into different ones, and yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. There's definitely a lot of crossover. And our instrumental category is and same with our jazz category too. They're both, very vast. I mean, we accept, any and all styles of instrumental music, whether it be classical, bluegrass to, fusion, funk, anything basically, for the instrumental category. And and jazz is extremely wide ranging these days as well. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the main moniker for ISC is, we're looking for a great song, and that can come in all shapes and forms. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're just looking for great songs in the competition.
Fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for talking to me, Jim. And I look forward to sharing more with my audience as we go through the year and then into next year. And I will definitely promote the once you open for 2025, because that'd be great.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you've got if you listeners have, or viewers have, any questions, they can always contact our office, and anyone in our office is happy to answer questions. And we certainly look forward to great entries coming from people that have hopefully watched and listened to your podcast. I think that'd be amazing if we had one or two winners that heard about the competition from this podcast. I think that'd be very
Absolutely.
gratifying.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Well, it's all about, making the world more harmonious. And as we're recording this, it's the week that Quincy Jones has died. And he's the guy who inspired me in the first place. So to do all of this. So, it's quite fitting in a way that I'm talking to you, because he was such a great writer and arranger and everything. So
amazing, yeah, and absolutely amazing artist in his own right, and just such a gifted musician and producer. I think even producing alone, the amount of Grammys he's won is just
I know.
ridiculous.
Exactly. Absolutely. And we'll be playing his music forever, won't we?
That's right. That's right. Yep, definitely a legend there.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining me, Jim. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to that conversation with Jim Morgan from ISC. I'm going to put the links into the show notes. So please do take a look at the website and see where you can get involved in this competition, either as a songwriter yourself or as a member of the audience, and vote for the songs that you like. You might also notice when you go online that Harmonious World is an industry partner of the ISC now. What you're listening to now is the Harmonious World theme tune, as composed and performed by Joe English. I'm wishing you all the compliments of the season wherever you are in the world, whenever you listen to this. And I hope you have a very harmonious week. Thanks for listening to Harmonious World. Thank you for listening to the latest episode of Harmonious World. My name is Hilary Seabrook, and it's a great delight to bring this series of discussions with musicians and composers and writers and all sorts of people to you. Obviously, there's no point in having a podcast if people aren't listening, and I'm very grateful to my listeners for doing so. Thanks also to Joe English for composing and performing this new theme tune. So wherever you get your podcast, you can leave a review. You can share this with your friends and family, either as a link or on social media and that sort of thing. I'd be really grateful for that. Don't forget that you can subscribe now. There's a link wherever you get your podcasts. So have a great week, and please remember why I started this, which is just to try and make the world a little more harmonious. Thanks for listening to Harmonious World.